I love to listen to CDs when I'm coming up, or Karen Drucker, and it just speaks to my soul. My soul's welcome here. So good morning, everybody. It's so wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces and handsome faces as well. I'm just really glad to be here. And when Jeanette said, I need your talk title, I go, what talk title? Because I forgot I was speaking. And I said, okay, let me think. And I tend to write notes, as things come to me. And this is one of the titles that came to me. So the gift of kindness. So the gift of kindness is one of the greatest things that we could share, not only with ourselves, but with everyone. Would you agree? Yes. So we're all seeking love and peace and happiness and joy and prosperity in our lives. Being kind is a good way of receiving that. When we're being kind, where do you think we're coming from? We're coming from love. Because kindness isn't an inherent spiritual gift. It is something that you have to become aware of. It is something you have to embrace and practice in your life. Sometimes it's easy for people, and other times it's a challenge. Like when you don't get good service at a restaurant, let's say. It's a challenge maybe to not be kind and to not say thank you, even if the service wasn't what you wanted. So being kind takes time, it takes patience, it takes practice. So if I told you that you could embrace the kingdom of heaven within, would you believe me? Oh, that's good. Because the next one was, are you questioning the power of the Christ in you even exists? Well, it's a question that comes up for some. It has for me in the past. I didn't even know what that meant. I had to learn. I had to become aware. I had to be open to receive. When we as individuals, or we collectively as a whole, become willing to open our hearts and open our minds, we grow, right? So being kind is something that you weren't into. Our Christ consciousness has always been within us. It is just up to us to embrace it. It's to get quiet and go to that still small place inside and have that oneness with God. Be happy. That's where the kindness comes from. I like that word. Let's say this word. Let's affirm this. I am kind. I am kind. Doesn't that just bring a smile to your face? I am kind. Well, how about that? And we get to remember those things as we move about our day. I am kind. I am a child of God. Say that with me. I am kind. I am a child of God. Yes. So we just open ourselves to receive the riches that are within us, and we then begin to experience love and joy and peace. And as I mentioned earlier, kindness is not a spiritual gift. It is something that we work towards to, and remind ourselves. So what kinds of acts of kindness can I do today? Have you ever been in line at Starbucks in drive-thru and somebody ahead of you paid for your drink? That's an act of kindness, right? So paying it forward. So then it starts the ripple effect, and you might not be able to do it that day, but maybe the next time you're in line and somebody behind you and you get the order, it's $50 for Starbucks. You're like, oh, kindness. We just have to remember, pay it forward, right? So here's some things that you can think of first, kindness. Call a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Just say hi, check in, see how they're doing. Write a letter. Yes, I said it, pen to paper. Write a letter, because we're so used to electronics today. Look, I'm talking from an electronic device now, but it's the power of pen to paper. And just write a little simple note. How are you doing? Is there anything that I can help you with? Send flowers to somebody you love, to a friend, or to somebody that it would just bring a smile to their face. this morning, we got beautiful flowers, right? From a garden, and that was an act of kindness to bring the flowers. You could ask, offer to pick up groceries for maybe you have an elder neighbor or a friend that is not feeling well. And you could pick up groceries for them. My daughter was sick about a couple of weeks ago for over 7 days, and I would just ask to check on her every day. What can I do? Do you need anything? Do you need me to go to the store? Is there anything you can do? And it just comes naturally, right? Well, she's my daughter, so it does come a little natural for me. However, I have a friend that's not feeling good either. Her asthma's acting up. I said, what can I bring you? Do you need anything? And it comes from my heart, so it's effortless. And they receive it that way too. They don't feel like you're trying to be nice. They believe you are. Does that make sense? Yeah. How about this? A simple smile. Just walk by somebody and just smile. You want the same thing. You know, just smile and nod. Walk a neighbor's dog, or somebody's dog needs to be walked, and you know they're not able to do it right now. Offer to walk their dog. Simple, hello, how are you today? And I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of fast food places that are trying to embrace community and embrace customer service and embrace kindness are asking you, how are you doing today? How's your day? And sometimes it catches me off guard because I'm like, oh, okay, because I'm off in my own little world thinking of other things, but that's an act of kindness. It brought a smile on my face. Giving a compliment. I got a few compliments this morning, and that was very nice and put a smile on my face. If you could turn to your neighbor, the person sitting next to you, either to the right or to the left, say something nice. No, not if you. Will you? Turn to your neighbor, say something nice. So, as I'm out witnessing all of this, the smiles on everybody's face are just wonderful. Listen to how much is just going on. Can you feel it? Can you feel it in the room? I can feel the energy in the room. Yes. I almost didn't get you back. I almost didn't. There's a quote by Oscar Wilde that says, the smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. Right? It's the kindness, it comes from the heart. It involves caring, generosity, compassion. So, and it's not only to others, but it's to ourselves. How many of you guys, show of a hand, isn't always compassionate and kind to themselves? The words that come out of our mouths sometimes is not loving. And we have to step back and turn the golden key. Do us to others as you want done to you, right? So if I'm thinking that, then that has to be returning outwards. So we just have to take a breath, change the thought, adjust the thought. Adjust it to where it fits and it feels good. Just like just a few minutes ago when we were all smiling and giggling, and that is the feeling you want to feel. That's what kindness is about. Did you know that research has been done, or studies have been done, that kindness is better for your mental and physical selves? That the people that show kindness in their lives for the majority of the time, because I have met people that are kind all the time, but they live a longer life and a healthier life. That's incentive, right? I'm thinking as I was riding up here, and I'm like, oh, I need a new seat, you know, because the cushion, there's no more cushion in my driver's seat. And I thought, Well, be kind to yourself, buy a little cushion, put it on the seat, there's nothing wrong with your car, put it on your seat. Right, that's an act of kindness to myself. So think of something right now, and then share with me, if you were gonna do an act of kindness, what would it be? Anybody? Don't hold back.
Well, one thing I've done probably for 40 years plus, if I'm in a store or somewhere and I see someone who has something nice, like a lady in a dress or a man with a nice walk or whatever, I'll compliment them, and it shocks them every time. I'll say, oh, that is a beautiful dress, or you just walk with authority or something, and like, what's wrong with her? But when you compliment others that you don't know, it takes them by surprise, and it also builds their confidence.
It does. It does.
Speaking of the grocery store, letting somebody go in front of you that only has a couple items and you gotta hold.
And it
Right.
comes from your heart. It's just natural, right? To do something that. Anybody else?
Holding doors open for everybody or letting them go in front of you.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Then I ask them to tip me on the way out. No. Luke 6:35 says, but love your enemies, do good, and lend, expecting nothing in return. Your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High. For he is kind to the ungrateful and to the wicked. God doesn't know ungrateful and wicked. God is just good all the time. But we do, as humans, we see the difference. And so if God's gonna love us unconditionally, and then we are children of God, we can do it. I'm gonna give you a little example of being kind, no matter what the circumstances. My car was parked in front of my house, and I went outside to move it in the afternoon. And it was on May 16th, and somebody had backed into my car and just pretty much put holes in the driver's door and damaged the passenger door. Grateful, grateful, grateful I wasn't in the car when that happened. Didn't leave me a little note, nothing like that, and it just was like, okay. So I took it to the body shop, and after, I'm not gonna make a long story of this, on the 6th time taking it back to the body shop to get fixed, the whole time I said, thank you. Thank you for helping me. Even though I never got an explanation of why the overspray was all over my car. I didn't get explanations for anything, I just kept saying, thank you. And they've all said, I've dealt with 3 different people at this point, and they all said, you're so nice. I'm like, it's not gonna do me any good to get mad. I said, but what you don't want me to do is give you a survey. That was an act of kindness. That was a true act of kindness, because I know I told them what the service wasn't getting done, so they knew, and they had it documented. So to affect their pay, that's not who I am. And if they get bad surveys, it affects their pay. So, and I happen to, that particular dealership happens to be one of my largest clients. So I kind of just said, no, I'm not gonna do that. But it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. If we're in a situation where it's not nice, we can always be kind. First, be kind to ourselves. And when we're kind to ourselves, we're gonna be kind to others. And when we forgive ourselves, we can then easily forgive others. Kindness is powerful. It's yummy. I like kindness. It brings a smile to my face. Here's a couple of random ideas for kindness. Donate blood. I already talked about the I already talked about the coffee in line. Volunteer at a children's hospital or a nursing home. Acts of kindness. Yeah. Clean out your closet. Take the donation to a homeless shelter. How many can go into your closet right now and find at least 10 items that you haven't worn in over a year. How about 3 years? Another good one is to go into your pantry, pull out all your perishables, and then donate it. Do you really need 20 cans of green beans? I mean, I'm just saying, that's my house, because we go through a lot of green beans, but, and again, say thank you. Thank you for the simplest thing, when they hold the door open or they let you go in line because you've only got a couple of items at the grocery store and they let you go ahead, say thank you. The words thank you, when they come from your heart, are powerful. You can feel it. You can feel the infusion of kindness. And lastly, there's a quote by Joseph Joubert. I saw it and I just had to share it with you. A part of kindness consists in loving people more than they deserve. More than they deserve. But don't we all deserve love? Right? We just might not think they deserve it right now, but we can just say, bless you. And I love you. And I behold the Christ in you. Somebody cut you off in the car, cut you off, and you just look at them and say, bless you. I behold the Christ in you. And God, please take care of them, because I have no idea what's going on in their lives. I have no idea what message they might have got, or they're just crazy driver. I don't know, but I don't have to be mad about it. So this week, well, heck, for your lifetime, be kind. Go out, think of something that you can do that is kind to not only yourself. Maybe you've wanted a manicure for a very long time, but you haven't done it because you can't find the time. Be kind to yourself, make the time. Maybe you want to go on a walk because it's beautiful. Maybe you want to go on a walk, but you haven't done it because the weather hasn't been the nicest. Go on a walk. Think of something that you can be kind to yourself and then share that kindness with others. I am here to tell you that you are worth it. Let's go into prayer and meditation. So I invite each one of you just to close your eyes, allow the chair to support you, knowing that God is right here. Just relaxing, dropping from our heads to our hearts, being kind with the thoughts in our mind, thinking kindness, thinking peace and joy and abundance. Know that we are here this morning, not as individuals, but as a whole. There is no separation between us. There is no difference. We are all beautiful children of God. And we come to share this time and space with each other, to feel love. To say hello, to see a smiling face, and to be spiritually fed. We come together as a community. And we are kind to each other and loving to each other. And we respect each other. Just breathe into knowing that every one of your desires, your hopes, your dreams are here waiting for you to embrace and experience it. As we move into a time of silence, I invite you to connect through that Christ consciousness within and feel the peace and the love that you are. To feel the kingdom of heaven right within yourselves. Where the abundance and the riches of great things and much more are. And we move into the silence. We are gracious. We are compassionate. We are abundantly blessed. We are love. And we are kind. And so it is.